Hello everyone, my name is Aiden, and welcome to my first City Skylines series. This isn't my first video on the channel. I'm sure many of you know me from, past stuff that I've done on the channel, but I don't know if you really checked, but I privated all of that and put it all on unlisted, because I don't really care for that stuff anymore. I'm a grown person, you know? um, so here we are in City Skylines. If you don't really know what this game is, it's basically a city building game where, you just basically, it's all to your imagination. You do what you want. I'm in a very modded version of the game. The game is very heavily inspired on simulation-based cities. It's just a fun little game that you can get right now. It's I think 75% off on the Epic Game Store if you want to go check it out and play for yourself. It's quite interesting. I'm not sure how the workshop works for the Epic Games, but if you get it on Steam, it's like $20, and with Christmas coming up, it gets a little bit on the cheaper side. And it requires a heavy computer, so keep that in mind as well. But anyway, welcome to my first ever City Skylines Let's Play. If you want to call it that. This is my series called Arkoma in the city of Elkhart. I am really glad to be starting something like this. This is something I've kind of thought about doing for a while. I have seen a lot of different YouTubers, a lot of City Skylines YouTubers with their own series, and I kind of wanted to start with my own because they've given me a lot of inspiration. A couple being Prez and $2.20, Design Candy, a lot of their stuff. I want to do this my own style though. It's not going to be as great as theirs, as their style. So this is a fresh new start. Everything you see here is from first episode. They'll be progressively getting. Hoping to get more and more fully edited, because I'm not really used to the full editing thing just yet. I'm gonna have a couple of my friends kind of work with me on this and try and help me out here and there. Get my own software maybe eventually, but I gotta thank my good friend Zane, who, if you want to go check out some of his stuff, he does a lot of gameplay, not City Skylines, but a lot of Twitch streams. He's a really funny guy. If you want to go check him out, I'll leave his Twitch down in the description. But he made the thumbnail for this video, so I gotta really thank him for that. He's a great guy. Definitely go give him a follow on his Twitch. He's really hoping to start up. But yeah, a little bit with me, or really about this city is I've kind of gotten a bunch of different inspirations for it. I don't really know exactly how well I'm going to base it off of, but I'm going to try my best here. There's a little bit of every city here. I'm getting this outline. You can see me placing down this 6-lane road, the 3+3 lane road here. I got a little bit of that from Chicago. How they have the highway alongside the river, or the lake bank, the water bank. How they have that highway just kind of circling around it or going alongside it. So this is where I kind of got that, is having a highway or a outer stretch of road that gets you around the city a little bit quicker, almost kind of like an outer belt, but in its own way. But yeah, this city will be mainly based off of San Francisco, Chicago, a little bit of Philadelphia in there. It kind of is where I got a little bit of the ideas from. San Francisco part, excuse me. or that comes into play is the city being built on a hill. A lot of it, a good amount of it, is going to be built on a hill. But you can see there's sort of a grid layout there and the flat land, but it's also being built on an island, somewhat of an island. It's surrounded. You know, you got the lake, you got the big ocean there, and then a couple of rivers going through it. But you could tell from the San Francisco part is right along this hill here. I know the city's built up on a hill. And a little bit of the road infrastructure, I looked at a couple, mainly in the downtown of San Francisco, is where I saw some things. It was where I got, you'll see in the next episode, is where I start to build a highway. So, to kind of go off of that, my upload schedule. I want to try and release an episode every single Saturday for as long as I can, with winter break just starting yesterday for me. I want to try and pump out as many videos for each weekend I can. The second video will probably be released on this next week here, the 26th. And so, yeah, sorry about that. Dude. And I'm back. Sorry, I got a little bit. I ran into a little bit of interference on my end, just with how I'm doing everything. Right now I'm just recording my voice after I recorded this video a while ago, and it's the whole way I have this set up. I'm not exactly used to the whole commentary part of it. Usually I would record a video and record my voice at the same time. This time I'm recording a video, speeding it up, and then recording commentary over top of it. Is how usually most City Skylines YouTubers work. Later on this series, I'm still getting used to everything. There are a couple of things I want to change later on down the road. I want to start to include more. I want to start to include a time lapse near the end, or not a time lapse, but a live play near the end. I want to include different cinematic shots in the middle of the video and at the end of the video, and maybe even near the beginning. But I haven't really done any of that stuff yet. One main reason is because I forgot, but so I mean, yeah, a little bit. Kind of go off a little bit of myself. I've done a little bit. I've done some YouTube in the past, and when I was younger, I was very affluent about wanting to start my own YouTube channel and become this big YouTube star and all that, and I never expected myself to really become to this part where I just record City Skylines gameplay. But this stuff is really interests me, and I wanted to start doing it for myself. And start my own little. Sorry about that. I heard something. Start my own little gameplay of what I do and how I build things in my own way. Because I mean, literally every single YouTuber, every single City Skylines YouTuber has their own way of building, and I've kind of gone in my own direction, but also a little bit of inspiration, like I've said, from Prez, $2.20 Design Candy. So I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Mainly for this first episode here, is just going to be like as you see here, is the main kind of outline of how the highway sits, and where the downtown is going to sit. there's not really much editing going on, so you'll have to sit through a lot of it. They will be pretty long episodes. This one is a little bit longer than usual. The next one is probably going to be even longer. I don't really tend to put my videos over 30 minutes. I kind of wanted to keep them short, maybe like 20 minutes or so. But this is how it's going to start for right now. I will progressively get better as I'm still getting used to everything. As the weeks and months go on, I hope you guys can stay with me and watch me kind of get better as the years go on, and just stick with me, stay by my side, you know? But yeah, I guess I'll go a little bit I'll go quiet again, so you guys can watch how I do things, so you don't have to hear me talk for a little bit. So I will see you in a little bit. And we're back. Sorry, I was a little bit longer. So here is just a little bit of I'm trying to plan out how I want this first little entrance to the city to work. I kind of want it to go through the main part of the city, because this is a main that little road down the center is the main road that leads into you know, the other side of the little outer belt. It does take me a little bit of time to figure out how I want this to sit, but I eventually get it. So back to editing, how I want editing to go. I'm still trying to find how I want my editing to look. Since I'm just now getting into YouTube and actually wanting to do it somewhat like kind of part-time, you know. I'm not planning to make any money off of it. I just want to, you know, make people happy, show how I build or how I play this game. And it's always good to see new City Skylines creators and just new creators in general come to the scene. And you know, it's this whole building, the whole City Skylines building is a little bit on the underground part of YouTube. There are only a couple really big, really big YouTubers. One pretty big one that comes to mind is City Wall. I mean, he's just really good in general, so I'm not surprised. He does, you know, the Mars. If you haven't seen it, the Mars series is extremely good. So, but, you know, he's done the Mars series. He's doing a collab story building build with Skibbeth. You can check that out. It's coming along. So far, it's super good. They do the storytelling alongside. I have to look at it again, but it's. Give me a quick minute to look it up here. I'll go mute. It's the series called Skylines Invicta. It's him, it's Skibbeth, the Temple Institute, and City Walk City Wall. They're doing a collab story building kind of build, and it looks really, really interesting, and I can't wait to see what else they bring to this whole scene. But I mean, if you don't know what the Templin Institute is, I don't even know how to fully explain it, so you have to kind of look at it for yourself if you're really interested in it. And if you kind of want to look at storytelling of futuristic cities, I think is kind of what the whole thing is a storytelling of futuristic cities, I believe. I may be wrong on that. I haven't really done all the research towards it. But I mean, here we are building a small little interchange to, give it some life. Give it some life as a city. And make it, like I said, give it some life. Sorry I went quiet there. I did think to myself a little bit. But I have just realized that I built the way I built that bridge there, that little interchange, is kind of wrong. So I have to go back and fix that and build a different interchange. So that's going to be a little side project on the end I'm going to be doing. Because if you see there, on the Albert Bridge thing right there, where the lanes are placed, I have them going in different directions. Like I have the oncoming traffic going into the opposite lane, like it's crossing, and that's not supposed to do that. I didn't exactly want it to do that. But maybe it gives it its own flavor. I don't know how realistic it is for traffic flow. So, that's a little bit unrealistic on that part, but we'll kind of see how it goes. The main kind of flow for this city isn't really making it as simulated as possible. Kind of like where the city functions properly, like maybe in some aspects. Because at some point I want to try and make a profit, but as of right now, it's more of looks and road and highway infrastructure is kind of what I'm messing with. Just trying out new ideas for how, just using my imagination for how I want the city to turn out, and I'll see how that goes. As you see here, I just built a little interchange onto the main bridge, and here we get into the main grid layout on where all the roads, where all the main downtown roads are going to sit. All of this is just placement. There's really no like you can see it. I'm not that 4-lane road with a median in the center, so I'm probably going to stay there. As from what I believe in the second episode, from what I have. But you'll see that next weekend. So yeah, so all those 4-lane roads are going to be most likely touched up and turned into something a little bit more realistic city-wise. Sorry about that. How I just randomly went quiet. So a little bit about you can see here I'm building the district, up. Sorry, not district. Grid district or grid planet. You know what I mean. So future plans for the city. I probably should have talked about that a little bit earlier on. But I mean, if you've made it this far, thank you. I really appreciate that. And I hope you guys stick around for later on in the series, because I mean, I plan to really do a lot in this, taking it one step at a time. Because I mean, from what you can see here, there's not a lot of trees, and there's not a lot of really designing or really a lot of detail to the roads. All that is going to come in different parts, I'm going to focus one episode on doing this, and then one episode on doing that, because this first episode, just planning out the city, just planning out where I want the roads to sit and how I want this. That may change in quite a later time, but I don't fully know that just yet. The next episode, to give a little bit of a teaser, is pretty much all highway infrastructure. Is how the city will really connect to the outside world, or to the void, I guess you could call it. But that's pretty much how that's always going to be, or how that's everything going to sit. And then maybe some other time I'll go back into those intersections and detail them up a little bit, make them look a little bit more prettier. Obviously, I'm gonna make them realistic at first, but later on down the line, I'm planning to do like an entire episode just to plan some of the main highways or main interchanges, where, like, I don't know, a lot of the you'll see later on in like cinematics or first-person views, because I want to do some of those later on. But since it's all from scratch, it's going to be a long series, and I really hope you guys stay around for all of it and see how this city grows and how I grow, maybe as a YouTuber and as a person. To say a little bit about who I am, not to give, obviously not too much, because I don't want you guys to know everything about me. But my name actually is Aiden. I just changed the lettering of it to make it cooler, because the way it's spelled is kind of how I wanted it to be always spelled, Aydn. But I've added, 2 extra ends to it. Make it, a little bit more interesting. But my name actually is Aiden, and I am 17 years old. I really started to get into City Skylines in the actual planning of cities probably about a year ago, maybe less than a year. But I've been playing City Skylines. Yep, there's that little. I don't know how that happened, but I fixed it though. We're all good. I started to play City Skylines when I was about 15 years old. I have one of my biggest cities that is so corrupt now that it's barely even playable. Has over 1 million people in it. And it's just like, it has barely any assets. I mean, the downtown and the highway and the road infrastructure is so bad, but I didn't pay attention to any of that kind of stuff. I just still think it's kind of funny how I have a 6-lane, one-direction road going into a 3-lane highway. It's all just so funny. But I've grown, and I've gotten so much better at, or what I think I've gotten a lot better at, planning everything out. So this bridge, what I have is some ideas I have for where this across the river is going to sit is probably going to be more urban development and a lot of neighborhoods and maybe small shops, maybe even a smaller downtown. Not really. You wouldn't call it downtown, but it's got high rises and apartment blocks, stuff like that. I may even do a little bit of terraforming. I suck at terraforming, so you won't see any of that really a whole bunch. I had to terraform this entire area out and make that hill where the probably where the main downtown is going to sit. It took me like an hour just to do that. But you'll constantly see, I think you'll see the map changing throughout, how there's that little, I don't know if you've really seen it much, but there was like a little island that sat outside the city. There will be another one that I'll grow just to, give it a little bit more, I like the word flavor. Spice things up. And that little river you see right there, if I remember correctly, that does not stay, or it gets smaller, one of the two. I completely forget. But everything, there'll be a couple changes all throughout the city and how it plays out, how everything goes. We are nearing the end. I do not have any cinematics. I want to clarify that before we end here. You do get this little shot. If you wanted to pause the video back there. But I had cinematics earlier, a while ago, but something happened and they all got corrupted, and I should always back up my files or save it to a USB drive. I've learned that now, so expect some cinematics next time in the next episode. So I don't really have any screenshots that I can really flip through here. I mean, I do, because I still have that one as a thumbnail, but I don't want to really extend the video out to any further. But yeah, I'm pretty much finishing up the rest of the grid here. That little thing, those two little roads right there will finish off. I just left it there. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do here, but I'll keep that there just in case. And then to really make it a American city, you have to have roads that run at a 45-degree angle from the actual straight roads. you can't have an American city without roads like those, they're everywhere. But we're nearing the end here. But I want to thank you guys all for watching and sticking with me through this, and you can enjoy the rest of the video here as it comes to an end. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check out the description for Zane's Twitch channel. Yeah. I don't really know what to say. I'm still, like I said, I'm still getting used to all this, so work with me here. But like I said, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.